Time to charge jump to chase survivors at crazy speeds, only to charge directly into a wall with Crash Dummy. One of the two killers released with Pwned by 14's Number, but here update. Let's just get into what our abilities do, shall we? Passive Headache. Every 15 seconds, Crash Dummy will see the location of every survivor through walls. Survivors when highlighted seem to also change color based on how much health they're currently at. Here I come. I'm doing the abilities out of order since Overdrive's functionality only really makes sense to explain last, considering it changes the functionality of the other moves, instead of working on its own. Anyways, Crash Dummy will tap her helmet 3 times and start to dash, greatly increasing her run speed. If she hits a survivor, she'll be slightly slowed for 1.5 seconds, doing 13 to 35 damage based on how long the charge was. But if she shoots at the object, she'll be effectively stunned for 1.5 seconds, and the charge has a duration of 3 seconds. To compensate for the high speeds, it becomes incredibly difficult to turn while dashing. However, you can sprint to slow it down, at the cost of cutting through your stamina incredibly quickly, and losing the ability to hit survivors briefly. Heads up, Crash Dummy will throw a prototype head wherever she's facing, that will ricochet off walls up to 5 times before spawning. The move has reverse fall off and will do 10 damage point blank at 25 max distance. It ricocheting off of walls allegedly decreases the damage based on the description of the move. However, in practice this rarely comes up, since if it ricochets off a wall, it's just going to get more damage anyway due to reverse fall off. So it usually won't make that much of a difference, but it should still be noted if you can help it, to avoid ricocheting off walls to get the maximum damage. Overdrive. After a brief windup, Crash Dummy will empower herself, changing what her non-M1 moves do, until either one is used, or 20 seconds pass. Your income becomes dramatically faster, has its max damage increased by 10, and instead of instantly doing damage whenever you hit a survivor, it grabs them and continues your attack, letting you run into other survivors and do about 20 damage and ragdoll them. The move will end once you hit a wall. It also, I think, has the 3-second duration thing, but that rarely ever comes up since, like, you're moving so fast you're going to hit a wall before it runs out, since you can't really slow it down. Heads up, the prototype head will explode on impact of any survivor, however its damage is hard capped to 15. Overall, for Pwned by 14, due to me not being the most experienced with the game's balance, I'll be ranking characters based on a much more subjective stance, that being how fun they are to play as and in fight. In terms of that, Crash Dummy is probably my favorite take on a rushdown killer in any ace I might have played. And while it might be partially due to recency bias, I think her moveset's only real flaw is that sometimes her dash can wonder wave hits that really shouldn't be allowed. She feels strong to play as, makes her actually fun, and she also feels fair to fight against. I don't really have any complaints. Again, the dash can be a bit unfair from time to time, but overall that doesn't really hamper down what I think is overall an S tier moveset. Anyways, see you tomorrow for Killer Kyle.